Good morning, and yes, I'm recording this in the morning because I just finished writing the blurb just a little bit ago. The title is Severe Struggle Continues for Many. I had a brief exchange with one of my many friends when I first came to the computer today. Like many, she faces huge challenges just trying to survive. It breaks my heart. And so many I don't know personally are even worse off, even homeless. This is all happening on a planet where there is no shortage of real wealth, yet only a few control the vast majority of what we call money. As I've said before, money is the control mechanism used by demonically inspired humans to create hell on earth. Many have been waiting for years to take advantage of the currency revaluation. I know some of them personally. While there are signs that Hillary and others in the establishment may be dying, until the head is finally or is cut off the beast and its minions disempowered, hope is a huge challenge for us normal people. Frankly, it breaks my heart to be able to see how easy it would be to fix the problem. Yet those solutions seem virtually unattainable. I hadn't been talking to this friend for some time and just happened to notice that they were on Facebook, and which surprised me because it's in a time zone that's even earlier than what I was, and it was early when I noticed it. And they were up early, obviously, and shared just briefly in some comments some of what is going on in their world to challenge them. And as I said in the blurb, I know many people, myself included, that have faced tremendous challenges this year and really throughout our lives because of a world that is structured so unjustly, created by liars. We call them politicians and we call them lawyers, but they're liars. They're demon possessed, demon inspired, as I said in the blurb. And somehow these are the people that we're supposed to look up to as our leaders. They are psychopaths, they are pedophiles, they are people who don't seem to have conscience or devoid of conscience. They get away with it, or at least so it appears. And this is the world that we live in. Many people refuse to face it. Many refuse to call it what it is, that it is demonically inspired, that it does seem to be run by some satanic influences that do not have the highest regard for mankind, for humanity at heart. They seem only to think in terms of how the world can be easier for us to manage, which is why they've, on the Georgia Guidestones, they've put out that the first thing that they have to do is reduce the world's population to 500 million people at a time when there are 7 to 8 billion people on the planet, which means they have to somehow figure out a way to eliminate most, and they like to use wars and famines and other shortages, creating hell on earth for everybody but themselves, and they seem to be able to sit in their ivory towers and get away with murder, literally with murder. Folks, I don't know about you, but I'm tired of having to witness such atrocities on a planet that was created with so much wealth, relatively easily available. Just the amount of gold that has been mined, and there's gold that hasn't been mined yet, I assume. I've been told from various sources, there's enough gold to make us all millionaires. Every man, woman, boy and girl on the planet can be rich beyond compare and not have to struggle for survival. Why do we have to struggle just to survive? It is incomprehensible to me that a loving God would allow us, his creation, to have to live like this. I've said so many times and felt so many times that, especially this past year since I lost my home and had it stolen from me, I've said that, I never want to come back to a planet like this. I'd like to have it erased so that I wouldn't even think about it anymore. People say, well, it's just an illusion, Ron. It's just an illusion. So many spiritual people use that as a scapegoat and a cop-out. It's just an illusion. It's not real. Well, it sure feels real to people that are experiencing the traumas that we have to experience that are artificially created. They're not real traumas in the respect that they have to be that way, that some greater power is forcing it to be that way. No, God supposedly is love. I don't understand why why love has to mean allowing anything to be, even violations of prime directive. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you, and do no harm. Prime directive. But this is the world that we find ourselves in. And the struggle continues. I've heard reports that the revaluation of the currency is supposed to bring riches into the hands of ordinary people, visionaries like myself and others who want to do good and want to create structures that enrich and build humanity up rather than tearing humanity down. But delay follows delay, follows delay, follows delay, and the revaluation doesn't occur. These are things that I see, that I experience, that I feel in my heart, that burden me a lot. I'm making this video early in the morning while the blurb is still fresh in my mind, and while I'm feeling these things as I come out of meditation and as I get ready to start a new day. I ask those of you that still believe that prayer has an effect, if you'd not only pray that God would move in a way that's tangible for those of us on earth, but that you would take whatever actions you're able to take to help those that are suffering. Figure out a way, we need to figure out a way that we can come together and create real opportunities for positive change. Because without that, we're going to be another doomed society like Atlantis and societies before that. We need to turn it around, and we need help and inspiration and empowerment and enrichment in order to do that. Thank you for listening and following suit with however you are personally led. Namaste.